A beautiful morning to you and welcome to the newspaper review for today. I am Ayo bringing you the news story for today and the stories that we are set to review with you today goes thus. 3 die, 1 injured in Lagos gas explosion. Dangote truck caught fire in Benue State. Man shares spaghetti for older women somewhere in Nigeria. And then to the last story, the story which everyone in Nigeria has been anticipating so far. We've been asking the question, where is Mr. President? Well, the president returns to the country today, says the presidency. These are the news headlines to be reviewed with you today. But before we go into all that we are for you, let's go on a quick break and we will be right back. Welcome back to the show. So we'll be taking the first story that we'll be looking at today is a really sad story, and we hope that the people involved, we pray that their soul rest in peace. 3 die, 1 injured in Lagos gas explosion. 3 people have been confirmed dead and 1 person was injured in a gas explosion that occurred at Abule Lekki Epe Expressway in the Ibeju Lekki area of Lagos on Tuesday. Let's quickly have the video. This was disclosed in a statement issued by the Director CEO, Lagos State Fire and Rescue Services, Margaret Adesheye, on Tuesday night. Adesheye said the agency got an emergency call for the fire incident at 3:34 p.m. on Tuesday. She said the explosion was caused as a result of mishandling of a gas cylinder. It is an explosion involving LNG, an industrial gas cylinder of about 50 kgs assembled at the frontage of a row of shops. LNG cylinders of about 50 kg exploded. Lekki Phase 2 Fire Station of LSFRS, complemented by the health environment officials, military officials, FRC officials, Ibeju Lekki local government mishandling of gas cylinder leading to the explosion. 3 bodies were recovered dead and 1 injured, she said. No, it is really a sad incident. We've been able to get some videos from the incidents, but really they are horrific videos that cannot even be displayed because of how bad the incidents were. But these are the videos that we are able to get from the incidents. So we have. It is a really horrific incident, and it is bringing us to look into this issue of black market. People sell fuel. You see, there are fuel stations. At the same time, you see all these small shops that go with their jerry cans to fuel station to buy fuel, and all of that, they sell it out as black market. The same thing, we thought it was because people couldn't get fuel in filling station. Before you know it, black market has become a legalized business in Nigeria. But these things are really hazardous to people's health. And it is bringing us to question the regulatory body in charge of this petrol and gas station, the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, the NUPRO, that it RC rather. It is high time that I think they put a stop to these gas stations that are planted within the neighborhood. You see people buy gas in 50 kg cylinders. They go out to resell it. Sometimes you discover that some of these gas stations, they have food sellers beside them. There are a lot of things, even though this is as a result of mishandling of this gas station. But at the same time, I think it is high time the Nigerian upstream regulatory bodies in charge of regulating the activities around petrol and gas. It is high time I think it is high time they put a stop to people having gas plants, buying gas in gas cylinders to go and resell for people. In a case like this, where do we run to? I mean, the fire service they even called is not even, there's no fire service in Ibeju Lekki as big as Ibeju Lekki is. The fire service they called was at Chevron. Chevron down to Ibeju Lekki is really a far distance, and considering the traffic they are going to meet before getting to that place, quite a number of properties were destroyed. The gas shop in itself, I watched some videos. I was able to see the scene. We saw that the shop itself got exploded. The shop went down completely. There was a building behind the shop. Everything you can see it from the video that was displayed. That was displayed. The story building behind the shop, it was pulled down as a result of that explosion. Those people who died on the spot, they were passerbys as a result of that explosion. What if there had been a fuel station around? You can see the orifice, you can see the places that were destroyed. Most of these buildings, they were far they were not even very very close to the shop where this incident occurred. They were just shops around, and the people who died, they were just passerbys. They were not even people from where this incident occurred. So I think it is high time the NUPRC look into these people who sell gas, who has a black market gas shop, all these petrol shops. These are things that there should be a station for them. And if at all they even want to allow these people to sell, it should not be in a neighborhood where people are that could cause a really sad incident like this. It is so sad, and we hope that the the soul of the deceased involved in this incident rest in peace. At the same time, we also want to look at the general hospitals around. We hardly see general hospitals around this place that treat fire incidents, even though this has happened. This is as a result of explosion. Nobody is expecting this, but at the same time, it is high time the state government especially look into hospitals that will be hospitals in Ibeju Lekki to be able to cater for fire incidents like this. In the case of a reoccurrence, you don't get to see hospitals that take in fire accident victims until you get to the mainland. Before you get to the mainland from Ibeju Lekki, the traffic and all of that, these people would have lost their lives as a result of this. So we also hope that the Lagos state government will also look into how general hospitals, the one in Akodo and the one in Ekpe, will begin to treat fire accident victims. Also, we are also going to be looking at a case like it, the case of the Dangote truck that caught fire in Benue State. Very quickly, let's have the video and we'll look at the review together. Please stay with us as we have the video in display.
But all thanks to God, man, no life was lost. Yeah. The truck is totally on fire, man. It's happening live. Okun people, Benue know they carry last, so silly gas now. Damn. What a small.
This video is the fact that while I believe the driver is out of the truck already, and what really stood out for me is that this thing is still on fire. People are not even looking at how they are going to quench or stop the fire, but they are looting the cement, and it is making me to ask, like, do we even value our lives in this country? Yes, we understand that things are hard. I mean, a bag of cement in Lagos is around 10,000 naira now, so it is quite understandable. It is quite understandable that they want to, they would want to get those things, they would want to resell it and make money out of it. But then human lives matter. In a case like this, we should learn to put our lives first. I believe even Dangote himself, the truck driver himself, he had already fled for his life in a case of an explosion. Just imagine if there was an explosion, then we begin to put a blame on the government, we put a blame on whatever it is that must have caused this. So I think it is high time we learn to value our lives. In a case like this, you don't go about to make video. Okay, the video has already the video we are having here help us to look into, to have a real-time information about it. But at the same time, I'll be speaking on the case of those who are looting the truck. I mean, we should. What if that thing escalate? What if it has become a full-blown explosion? Would we have been saying all of these things? What you will have been seeing is the case of the Dangote truck that caught fire and killed a lot of people. Then we put the blame on the truck or the truck driver or whatever it is that must have happened. So this is a lesson to some of us. We see that when there is an explosion, you see a fuel tanker falls on the road. You see people looking at how they are going to scoop fuel out of it. By the time there's an explosion, we put the blame on the truck driver, we put the blame on the road, we put the blame on every other person except for ourselves. So I think it is ideal that we first of all run for our lives in a case like this, regardless of, yes, we know there is hardship, but regardless of what happened, it is a living being that can live to eat the next day. So this isn't good enough on the part of people. So though some people may be saying that, what if there's a full-blown explosion and all of those cement get whatever, at least it is better for the properties to be destroyed than for human life to be lost as a result of all of this. So please, when there is an issue like this, people should learn to run for their lives first before they go about looking for how they are going to go away with properties and all of that. I mean, that is millions of naira at loss there, and we hope that Dangote will be able to make other benefits that will cover up for this loss. Also, we are looking into hardship in Nigeria. Nigerians has been clamoring about how difficult it is to feed, how difficult the economy has been. And we saw a video that caught our attention of a man distributing a spaghetti to older women. I mean, it is a really emotional scene. But very quickly, let's have the video. According to the source where we got the video from, we were able to tell that the man is a philanthropist who goes about places to give palliative to people. I mean, these are individuals in Nigeria that are ensuring that they do something to ease hardship in the country. And this is bringing us to say this is where we are in the country. I mean, look at it. It's that spaghetti that is distributing to them. Spaghetti is nothing less than 700 naira. That one pack of spaghetti is nothing less than 700 naira currently as we speak in Nigeria. And it is making us to ask, how long will these people eat this spaghetti? I mean, these old women will have children, maybe grandchildren with them at home, or they will have husbands, people that they are going to eat this spaghetti. I mean, this is just a single meal. And this is making us to say that there are no plans for older people in this country. I mean, you go to more developed countries, more advanced countries, you see that they have plans in place for the old. They have there are older women, there are older people. They go to the hospital. There is medical insurance for them. They go to the hospital to get drugs, to go for checkups. There are palliatives that are given to their older women from time to time. But we don't see any measures like that in place in Nigeria. The only thing that we see is that there are clinics that are not functioning. There are hospitals that are not functioning. There are no palliatives in place for people from people from a certain from a certain age and above. There are no plans like that. And you see these older women, you just hear that people just die anyhow in the country as a result of the hardship. I mean, if those women are to buy those spaghettis, many of them will not be able to afford it. And as you can see in the video, at some point the spaghetti got exhausted. What happened to those older women who are unable to get all of those things? As I saw the video, I was close to tears. Like, this is the situation right here in Nigeria, that people are struggling. People cannot afford the basic things. Truly, their purchasing power has been taken away, and there is no plan in place for older people. There's no plan in place for how poverty will be eradicated in the country. And another thing to look at is that, how long are we going to keep distributing palliative to the people of Nigeria? I mean, just yesterday they said the CBN ordered that 0.5% be added to whatever transaction that we make. It will start, implementation starts in 2 weeks' time. How many persons, you have to save for the transfer you want to make, and also save for the money that is going into the pocket of the National Security Advisory Body for the country. Where are we going to? Where are we heading to? Things are not, price of goods and services are not going down, yet they are enforcing more hardship on Nigerians, things that they do not even plan for. So how long are we going to depend on palliatives? How long are we going to depend on our rulers, not our leaders, because leaders will not do this? How long are we going to depend on our rulers to be giving us palliatives, that we are going to be feeding on palliatives? How long are we going to do this? For how long will Nigerians continue to bear this hardship? We should also not forget that as much as we're talking about hardship, we should also look at fuel scarcity. Fuel scarcity is still very evident. It's still a prominent issue till date in Nigeria. There are still places that people are still queuing for fuels. People are not able to go to their they are not able to go about their day-to-day activities as a result of these things, that this accumulating this hardship that is accumulating for Nigerians. This is the situation, and yet Mr. President is not in the country. Even if he's in the country, he's not even bothered about how the average Nigerian is catering for it. So this brings us to the last story. We have been asking the question, where is Mr. President? Where is Mr. President? All of these things, all of these stories that we are looking at, they have been piling up. It has been happening. So yesterday we still asked the question, where is Mr. President? And we said we are going to keep our fingers crossed. So now, today, we know the whereabouts of Mr. President, as news tells us that President returns to the country today. Let's quickly see the story in details. Tinubu returns to Nigeria today, presidency. The presidency has announced that President Bola Tinubu and his aides will return to Nigeria from Europe today. Recall that the president traveled for a meeting with the Dutch Prime Minister, Mark Rutte, over 2 weeks ago, from where he took a trip to Saudi Arabia to attend the Special World Economic Forum, WEF. He subsequently traveled to Europe after the summit. Special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Bayo Ononuga, who announced the development in a post on his X handle yesterday, said President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, along with his aides, will return to Nigeria tomorrow, which is today, from Europe. On April 22, Tinubu left Abuja, the country's capital, for the Kingdom of the Netherlands on an official visit. During Galilee, presidential spokesperson said the president was visiting the Netherlands at the invitation of Prime Minister Mark Rutte. after the engagement in the Netherlands, Tinubu proceeded to Riyadh in Saudi Arabia to attend a special World Economic Forum meeting between April 28th and 29th. The president was expected back in the country after the forum in Saudi Arabia, but he did not return, which fueled speculations about his whereabouts. Some reports said the president traveled to London from Saudi Arabia for a private visit before heading to France, a European country. So the president was supposed to return on the 29th of April, but it did not return until today, being the 8th of May 2024. Now, Mr. President as well, he returned Nicodemously because we would not have known that Mr. President is not in the country if not that the vice president, the person of Kashim Shettima, said he had a detour as a result of his aircraft having issues, it was then the Minister of Foreign Affairs who went to the conference he was supposed to grace on behalf of Mr. President. So this was what led Nigerians to be asking that is Nigeria on autopilot that Mr. President is currently not in the country. And yesterday we took the tweet by the presidential candidate for the PDP in the past election, the person of Mr. Atiku Abubakar, where he asks, are we sitting on autopilot in the country? But today, Mr. President is going to return back to the country Nicodemously. He left the country in a very open way, but here he is returning to the country Nicodemously. But we also hope that as soon as he get back to the country, he will be able to explain to Nigerians, we have issues with accountability in this country. Our leaders do whatever they like without giving feedback to the people. You have not been on seat for quite some time. You're supposed to return on the 29th. It is important for him to come out and say, okay, this and these are the things that came up. But as it is stated in the report, that it may have been that he went on a private visit to France, an European country, to private visits. Maybe he doesn't want to tell us about whatever it is. But then this is an elected president. He was elected into that position. It is more or less like every other person that goes about their day-to-day activities. They go to their place of work. So the president's, there was a reaction to the tweet by Mr. Atiku Abubakar yesterday when Buhala said that we are in a sovereign state and the president can decide to rule over the country from anywhere in the world. But then we should not forget that as a sovereign state, the president was elected into seat. His place of work is Aso Villa. His place of work is Aso Rock. That is where we expect him to be every single day, serving the people of Nigeria from there. So it will be very important that as soon as he gave back, this is not a monarch. This is not a monarch system where the president can do whatever he feels like doing. So it will be very important that he also comes out. As he has returned Nicodemously, he should also come out to come and give feedback to Nigerians. This is where I've been to. This is the feedback from it. So this is the problem with this administration. There is usually no feedback as to all that they have done. But we also look forward to the president coming out to tell us what happened, what led to his inability to return on the 29th of April where he's supposed to return. Let's hope that with the way Nigerians are talking about this administration lacking on accountability, we hope that they will look into it and give Nigerians feedback as to what led to this delay. So we are going to keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully the presidency will also come out to let us know why Mr. President is just returning to the country today. So this will be all that we can take on this session of newspaper review. But before we leave the studio, we'd like that you follow us on all our social media platforms. On Facebook, we are Prime Media TV. On Instagram and TikTok, we are Prime Media Studio. On the website where you're currently watching us, we are enginespeak.com. And you can follow us on YouTube at Engine Speak. I am Ayo. Until I come your way again, do have a great day.